We have action. So you've been doing the school grounds, I gather.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to tell you a story. And it's not about the school grounds, but it is about a castle grounds. And at one point, these may have been part of the castle's lands, mightn't they? The castle down there might have owned all of this and more. Well, this story takes place not in Doon, but somewhere, a little bit of a magical land, not so far from here and not so nearby. Not so long ago, but further ago than we are now. Or so they say. It happened to a land that was once beautiful and green, with lush trees and fields as far as the eye could see. Fruit trees of every kind grew for mile after mile, and no one ever went hungry. And then the day came when it started to rain. I haven't got the rainstorm with me here today. If you all start to stamp your feet, you can imagine how much thunder and rain there was. It rained for 6 months without stopping. And then, when the rain had finished, the sun came out and it shone. It shone relentlessly. It shone endlessly. It was hot and baking. And the land, now flooded, was turned to desert. And nearly all the plants died off. Food got scarcer and scarcer, and nobody had anything very much to eat. The king was old and tired and decided he didn't know really what to do with the land anymore. He didn't know how to save it. So eventually what he did was he summoned his 3 children to him. And he brought them to his chambers and he said, I'm going to give you 7 days and 7 nights to show me how you can be a successful king or queen and save our kingdom. His 3 children looked at him, and each, a little shocked, went back to their bedchambers and looked in their cupboards and looked around, hoping for some inspiration. The eldest, Prince Valdor, went to his chamber and looked into his cupboard. Now you would expect, being a prince, that he might have suits of armour, or swords, or dragons, or amazing outfits, but no. He had some broken Lego, and some dust and some crumbs, and not very much else. And there at the back he had a tarnished old crown, a little bit faded with the jewels gone. But he got it out and he placed it on top of his head, and then he looked at himself in the mirror. I have a brilliant idea. He said, this crown makes me look powerful and important. I'm going to build a huge wall. An immense, mighty wall all the way round the outside of my kingdom. I know exactly what I'm going to do. He summoned his servants to him. He got them to go out and collect every bit of metal they could find throughout the kingdom. Every knife, fork, spoon, pot, pan, plate, bowl, table, chair, wheelbarrow, tractor, plough, spade, shovel. Everything they could find. Cookers. What else do you think they got?
TV.
Do you think they had TVs? If they had TVs, they might have used bits of TVs, definitely. What else could they have? The fridge. Oh, no.
They might have, like, massive, big jeeps and
Yeah, all the vehicles. Everything. From bikes.
Dark Kingdom.
Yeah.
What?
What else?
Planes.
Planes.
Time machine.
Time machines. Absolute.
Washing machine.
Washing machines.
Tanks.
Tanks. I know, taps. What about taps? Taps and door handles. Every single bit of metal they could find, and he built an enormous wall. 2 meters high, taller than any man. And then he decided he would be in control. No one would go in, no one would go out. He even forgot the door. Just an immense wall of metal circling the kingdom. Meanwhile, back in the castle, the second royal child, a princess called Portia, went to her cupboard and you flung the cupboard doors open and you didn't find suits of armour or curled up baby dragons or swords or beautiful dresses or tiaras or anything else like that. No. All you found was cake crumbs and little bits of sticky half-eaten sweet and chocolate wrappers and spilt juice. And there at the back was a very long list of all the things that she would do when she was queen and a very small bag of money. She said, looking in her cupboard. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. She called her servants to her and she got them to go round every house in the whole kingdom and bring back every jar of sugar, every musician, every dancer, every bottle of fizzy pop, every sweet treat, and she got them to make an enormous feast. She got new music written and dancers to make up amazing dances. Every balloon was blown up, every streamer thrown, and she had an immense party. I'm going to have an immense party, she said, and then everyone will be happy and everyone will love me, and then I will be the most popular princess in the world, and then I will get to be queen. Meanwhile, back at the palace, the third princess, Melody, looked in her cupboard. She didn't have very much at all, no dresses or suits of armour, etc., etc., curled up baby dragons, but just an old tin box that her mother had given her many years ago. And she'd looked at it 100 times, but she'd never known what to make of the contents. She didn't know what to make of them now. There was a blue glass bottle covered in dust, marked a sad song's worth of tears. There was a tin engraved with beautiful patterns marked the winds from the 4 corners of the world. There was a ball of crystal, citrine that shone like the sun, and it was beautiful, but she didn't know what to do with it. And then there was a tuft of wool, a little dusty and coloured like a rainbow, and it was soft like a cloud, but she didn't know what to do with that. And then there at the bottom was something she'd not noticed before. There at the very bottom was a tiny fold of paper, and inside the tiny fold of paper was a black pip, a seed. And she looked at it and wondered, but she didn't know what to do with it. But that night she slept with it tucked in under her pillow, and she had a dream. In her dream, she was running through the orchards that had once covered the kingdom, and her mother had held her up to let her pick a red apple from the tree, and then she'd taken a knife and cut it in half and showed her the star that's in the heart of every apple. How her mother had taken a knife and picked out one of the black pips. Do you want to see the star? You that pass them round. She'd picked out the pip and popped it into her pocket and promised to look after it while she'd gone and played climbing the trees. And in the morning when she woke up, she knew exactly what she was going to do. She ran out of the castle walls, out into the grounds, and there she found a bit of dusty earth, and she took the pip and she buried it down into the soil, and she watched and she waited. And then she thought, seeds need water. Hands shaking, she took the blue bottle marked the sad song's worth of tears, and she unscrewed the top and let drops of the puddle-coloured water fall where the seed lay. 1, 2, 3, and it smelt like a meadow on a spring morning. And she watched, and she waited, But no magic happened. Seeds need sunlight, she thought. I don't have sun, but I have a round orb of citrine that sparkles gold, and she held it up, and she let the weak rays of the sun shine where the seed lay, and she watched, and she waited, but no magic happened. Looking in the box, she took out the tin, marked the wind from the four corners of the world, and she lifted the lid. The wind blew, and she watched, and she waited, but no magic happened. And now, thinking that maybe all was lost, she finally took that tiny ball of wool, soft like a cloud, and she threw it up into the air, and the 7 colours of the rainbow arced and spilt across the ground in front of her, and she watched, and she waited, but no magic happened. Eventually she lay down and slept where the seed lay. And as night fell, and the sky went dark, stars came out and twinkled and fell. And that night the magic did happen. In the morning she was woken up by an unexpected sound. Looking up, she saw the branches of a tree with a bird resting amongst pink apple blossom. And as she watched, the blossom ripened before her very eyes into crisp red apples. Hiding behind the tree was a young boy, laughing and watching the magic. Between the two of them, they came up with a plan. They ran around every house in the kingdom, asking every child if they could bring any seed they could find. A peach pip from a breakfast many years ago, a pine cone found in an ancient forest, nuts, seeds of every type saved and treasured. And every child went round the kingdom planting the seeds into the ground. And then the princess ran from seed to seed. A little drop, the sad song's worth of tears. A tiny shimmer of sunlight. A gust of wind and the arc of a rainbow. And after 7 days and 7 nights, an orchard had grown as far as the eye could see. Well, the king made his way out of his kingdom, and he went to see what his children had done. There was Prince Baldor stood. There were a load of people on one side shouting, "Let us out! Excuse me, I've got places to go, people to see," and a load of people on the other side saying, "Let us in, we've got people to see and places to go." And all over the wall there were people shouting, "Can I have my fork back? How am I going to eat my dinner? I need my saucepan back, I can't cook. And I haven't been able to open my doors for months," shouted one lady out of a window. "It's only been 7 days," said the man next door, "but I could do with my taps back." "Can I have my car? Where's my cart? Where's my wheels?" "Oh no," said the king. No, this is not going to work. We can't have a wall around the holes. No. Where's Portia?" Portia he found like this, surrounded by crumbs and tired musicians and exhausted dancers with their shoes off, surrounded by sticky spilt pots. "Oh, no more cake, thank you." Who spilled the jelly? Everyone likes parties, but 7 days and 7 nights? Any of you like a party for 7 days and 7 nights?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you don't. But when would bedtime be?
Never.
Tomorrow.
I would always just sleep on the table.
Would you? Fair enough. But you'd get all covered in crumbs and sugar. Ugh. No, said the king. I like bedtime. Bedtime is a very good thing. No. Parties are great, but not one that goes on for a whole week. No, silly girl. And off he stomped. Where's the other one? Who's seen Melody, the youngest princess? A little boy tapped him on the shoulder and led him out into the grounds. And there were happy, smiling, laughing children, climbing trees and eating fruit, and birds singing from every branch. Who do you think went on to be queen and save the kingdom? Go on. I think she did. Who do you think? I think so. I think maybe Portia stepped in and had parties, and Valdor did his bit when walls needed building and problems needed solving, occasionally. But I think Princess Melody might have made the best queen. She certainly grew new orchards across the castle grounds and around the kingdom, and nobody ever ran out of food again, because she always had a magic box to hand whenever she needed it. So thank you all very, very much. You've all gone very quiet. I think it's too close to home time. More. I'll come back soon. I promise. Home. Yes, you definitely get to go home because we're actually after home time. But thank you all very, very much.
Can we get rid of the sheep?